Make sure your boat is filled with gas so you can travel through a swamp full of memories in Caddo Lake. A Max original written and directed by the team of Logan George and Celine Held, whose previous work includes projects like Servant and also films like Topside. Check out their IMDb pages for the full list of their work, and it stars Dylan O'Brien as Paris. A man is going through it. He suffered a tragedy early on in his life that is still haunting him to this very day. But he didn't take a good job in the city. He decided to stay back and clean up the swamps, ripping up pipes every night and day to help this dam being rebuilt so their memories don't wash away, but these memories will not stay buried. They will certainly bubble up. So, basically, this film is a mind-bendy flick that has stuff bubbling to the surface because memories never stay buried, especially in the Louisiana bayou, like what was filmed here in Shreveport, Louisiana. One of the old stomping grounds of Mid-South Wrestling. If you get that reference, I love you guys. And this was produced by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I cannot escape this motherfucker no matter how hard I try. Either he's helping his daughter direct a film called The Watchers that wasn't any fucking good, or he's giving another daughter her own concert movie in Trap. Hooray! God, fucking remember when M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong did good movies? I know, it was quite a while ago. So, obviously, Paris isn't the only character in this, but he's a central character. And yeah, he's really going through it. Things aren't going all that well. And also, he's worried that certain things that happened with his parents could be bubbling up and causing him some issues. He must solve this mystery before everybody is history. Caddo Lake Tales, woohoo. Or Caddo, yeah, Caddo, yeah. There's another reference that nobody's going to get unless you're a deep cut wrestling fan. But there are other people, such as Ellie, Eliza Scanian. I've seen her in stuff before. She does have a familiar face. She is looking for her sister Anna, who went missing. And then certain things start coming up. And look, that's really about all I can do as far as not getting into spoilers. But as far as a film directed by two people written and directed by two people with the influence of M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, yeah, this film really just tries to be mind-bendy and twisty to substitute the fact that they really don't have anything original to say. Look, the idea wasn't the worst in the world, but the problem is the film was starting to lose me about 30 or so minutes in because it wasn't very interesting. And then about halfway through, I'm like, and I'm lost. You lost me, movie. You lost me around the goddamn turn. Just leave me in the swamps so I can get bitten and killed by the goddamn gators because it would be less painful than having to sit through Caddo Lake. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And while, yes, there is a central theme of overcoming grief, and that could have been something nice, one, it wasn't scary. There was no drama. There was no central emotional depth, rather, that you could lock into. It just wasn't very good. I mean, I'm sorry. And the twist, it's like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Oh, what else we have? Oh, that's all we have. Oh, we're just going to heap stuff on, and we're going to try to make sense of it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, you can try to untwist this goddamn thing, and while the writer-director team certainly have some talent and some knack for having some good shots, this was a project that was a total goddamn misfire, and no wonder it was sent directly to Max, much like Salem's Lot, the remake of that last week, because I reviewed that also. I don't know if this is better or worse than Salem's Lot, but yeah, filmed in Shreveport, Louisiana, and my God, could you tell, I didn't know them there book learning hit down there in Shreveport. I kid, of course. There are plenty of good people in Shreveport. I just can't help but make that. So, yeah, it is on Max if you want to check it out. But I do want to shout out a couple cast members here quickly. Lauren Ambrose. She's been some good stuff. Diana Hooper is absolutely stunning. And, yeah, from there, that's really about all we have. There's not a whole lot of depth to this. It just ends up being something where it's like, okay, you kind of could see where they were going if you were on a bunch of acid, but it just doesn't end up working at all. The execution's terrible. This movie should have been publicly executed with a bullet in the back of the head. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. So, yeah, an 8-year-old disappears, and that brings up a whole bunch of trauma from this family. Ellie and Anna have a bit of a weird relationship as sisters. You find out why as things go on. The religious nuttery. In Louisiana? Surely you jest. So, there's a gator that ends up bitten or destroyed or possibly taken out by motors. Also, there's this running gag of droughts and everything going on, and boats are getting stuck. Ellie's dad went missing. Actually, no, he ran off with another woman, so to speak. Kinda, but not really. Then at one point, Paris ends up finding this one shallower part of the swamp that has weird properties. Oh, yes, and his mother also suffered seizures, which led to the early scene where, she had a seizure and he nearly drowned and she nearly drowned. Well, actually, she died, but he lived. He can't live without her. Actually, he can, but then he can't learn to live anymore. So how many song references can I make in reviews like this when I'm totally goddamn bored with the theme of it? Well, who knows? Let's figure it out. Let's get a counter going. So, Anna had this necklace. And then Paris finds this necklace that's very similar, but he doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. See, again, Elizabeth had a history of abuse, or maybe she didn't. See, they just toss shit around in on this, and it just was getting kind of annoying. And I'm not saying Ellie was perfect, by the way. These characters are not worth rooting for. I mean, none of them at all. So the dad didn't want to, he didn't want to keep the records of the mom's seizures, but he also kept logs, and the logs tie back to the fact that there were low tides. And that there's this dam that basically could help with water distribution. And I would imagine in Louisiana that would be quite tough, building around all that shit. So, ends up, the mother basically tells Ellie, no, she, your dad left for another woman or whatever. And says she got in a fight with her and had to hurt her. Wonder who that was. So, yeah, basically the trash area with this has weird properties. Like, it can send you back in time. No, really, that's where we're going. We're going time travel to discuss this whole goddamn fiasco. The seizures are a family thing, so Paris starts having them. Ellie starts having them. I wonder if you can guess the relation between these two. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Yes, Paris and Ellie are actually father and daughter. And they've been searching and, looking for, they've been looking for, respectively, like Ellie's looking for Anna, and Anna also was the name of Paris's mother. Yes, he finds a younger version of his mother, rescues her after he gets sent back to 1952, and it makes no sense. But he rescues her there, so she goes on to live, I guess, somehow. But then he can't get back to his own time like Samurai Jack. And then basically, so he bounces around to 52, rescues her somehow. Does that mean that Ellie was originally from the 50s but somehow adapted to having smartphones? What is happening? Whatever, it's fine. 2005, is the next year for Anna, and oh boy, we just have so much less to unpack here because this movie has nothing to say. So Paris ends up going back to 2022, that old year, and basically, Ellie finds Anna's old necklace, but also finds her mother that has the baby version of her. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. It's not even that it's frustrating that I need my handheld to explain things to me, but when a movie just tries to substitute twists and twisty-turny stuff, as far as, not being creative, that's what they substituted with. Yeah, it's not good. Anna was the mother that somehow was, again, rescued by her own son. After being sent back in... what? So the dad is dying. By the way, Paris got arrested at this point after trying to evade police. And then he tells his dad, I figured this out. I'm going to go back to my own time. And then he drowns. But then Ellie, basically... It's just funny, though. Paris first says there's a place on the lake, where you can change times. Here's how fucking stupid that sounds. And Paris, ends up drowning. Ellie is all fucked up because of all this mind-bendy stuff. And yeah, Paris was killed in it, and I guess I don't know. The best way I can come up with it is somehow he was able to save his mother from an accident that led to her having him. But wouldn't that mess up with the timeline if she saw him before he was born? And Ellie had a sister that was actually her grandmother. Oh, God, jeez, it really is all an inbred thing down in Louisiana. Look, this is stupid. The more I think about it, the more annoying it is and the dumber it is. So speaking of, let's just end this. It gets an F, Caddo Lake, or Caddo Lake, whatever. Gets an F. It's terrible. Few atmospheric shots and some really bland performances. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.